Alright boys, following on from my last video about the Easter Road tear gas incident, I thought I'd share a couple of the first-hand accounts I found during my research. The first is from Stuart, a member of the Hibs CCS. We'd been expecting trouble, but not like this. Easter Road was bursting that day, 10,000 Celtic in our city, giving it the big one, and you could spot their so-called soccer crew from a mile off. Bad mustaches, pastel colours, acting like they were Italy 82 ultras. We were the capital city service, tight-knit, sharp-dressed and deeply territorial. No one came into Leith without feeling our presence, and we were ready. The baby crew had been on edge all morning, bouncing around like terriers outside Platform 5 bar. Word was, the Celtic lot were bringing smoke bombs. We weren't worried, they were outnumbered and this was our manner. Inside the ground, we were packed into the East Terrace when it happened. 62 minutes in, bang. I swear it felt like a bomb. Eyes stung, noses ran, people screamed. It was carnage. I saw old ladies weeping, dads hauling kids over fences. You could taste the metal in the air. One Hibs fan was shouting, "It's gas! It's gas!" while another keeled over on the grass. It didn't take a genius to figure out who did it. Outside, the tone shifted. Now it was personal. I saw one of their crew getting cornered near the back of a pizza shop. He tried to run but slipped. That's when Dougie landed a right boot into his ribs. Nothing too serious, just a message. You don't gas Edinburgh. A few of their boys fought back, but we got the better of it. It wasn't a massacre, just a warning. Back at the pub, word filtered through. Some of them arrested, one was remanded. We laughed, but not out of cruelty, just the way things were back then. Cause chaos? Take your licks. Still, there was a sense that something had changed. The use of gas, that was new, cold, cowardly. But the bigger point, that was ours. They tried to humiliate us, and we answered the only way we knew how. On the pavement, with fists, pride, and a steel-capped boot or two. Easter Road was still our patch, and no flashy Glasgow outfit was taking it without a fight. Next up is Kev, one of the Celtic Soccer Crew lads that got banged up before the match even started. The football special wasn't scheduled to leave until 1:15. We were supposed to wait for the rest of the lads, but we had a brainwave and decided to go early. So we get off the train at Haymarket and walk to Easter Road, about 40 of us, getting there about 11:30. There wasn't a soul around when we arrived in Edinburgh. We decided we'd go into one of the football pubs on Easter Road and wait there for a while. So we're sitting drinking and all of a sudden the door opens and a mixed race lad with an English accent says, "Come on Celtic, outside." I don't even know where this guy appeared from. A couple of the boys took up his offer and charged out the door. We were stood in the doorway, throwing bottles and tumblers. Also a flare gets fired at the Hibs lads outside. The police turned up within minutes, took our names and ushered us up the road. There was a bit of sporadic boxing between us, and we still only had our 40-odd lads. They chased us towards London Road in the direction of Waverley. We got to this street and I could see another 300, 400 lads coming. It was then that I thought, shit, we're gonna get done silly here. Then I took a closer look at the mob. There's two lads at the front wearing Bermuda shorts. I remembered that my brother and his mate had gone out that day wearing Bermuda shorts. I've went, "Yes, it's Celtic." They came charging over the hill and it kicked off big time. We had Hibs backing off on their own patch. There were big clashes right in the middle of the road. These continued until the police put cars and vans in between us. We felt we'd done well. I think at one point I got decked, but I still managed to pick myself up from the ground and go for it again. There was one Hibs lad standing in the middle of the road who kept shouting for Celtic to come ahead, so I ran up and smashed him one right on the jaw. He ended up going over a car bonnet. Next thing I knew, I had two coppers on me and was handcuffed. The funny thing was that the cops then turned to the guy who I had punched and said, "Are you okay, Frank?" And he went, Yeah, I'm fine." He was an undercover copper who'd been deliberately provoking us. So I end up in the jail. I'm sure the cells I was held in were up near Edinburgh Castle. I'm sitting there, totally pissed off. I've been nicked for fighting an undercover police officer, and not only that, I was going to miss the match as well. Not long after kickoff, there were sirens going off everywhere. They brought a lad in and I heard them asking him his name, where he was from and what team he was with. The boy answered with his name, Glasgow and Celtic. About 5 minutes later there was another lad, same again. Then another, he was Hibs. I'm thinking, what's happening here? The game's just started. Then suddenly there seemed to be a rush on in the police station. Loads of people coming and going. I heard a cop saying, "Listen lads, forget the names, just answer Celtic or Hibs." That's an indication of just how many people were being arrested. After that, people just kept coming in. Celtic, Hibs, Celtic, Hibs. I still didn't know what the hell was going on. At around 8 PM that night, the police decided to release me. As I'm travelling back to Glasgow, there were 4 or 5 Celtic lads on the train, completely drunk. They were sitting in the carriage talking about how disgusted they were at the casuals and the things that had happened that day. I suppose getting nicked early saved me from getting mixed up in something much worse. If you were there that day and want your account to be featured on a future video, drop your memories in the comments below, and please remember to like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you're new, you know it makes sense. Thanks for watching, I'll see you next time.